You know, for an area called the Abandoned Outpost, it had more enemies than you would think. But aside from that, the outpost was nowhere near as dangerous as the Fiend's Lair. Before we entered, however, another strange female monk teleported before the Avatar, and she was not at all friendly. Long story short, on her end, she gave us advice regarding buttons inside the outpost, which turned out to be wrong information that nearly killed the champion of balance. There were a few minor mystic traps set by Artemis, whose body we found in a locked room next to the torture equipment, as well as a few chaos agents in the form of wild men, as well as their suits of armor constructs. The Avatar's quest: find the third magical orb, and hopefully one of the artifacts that Silver Seed has to offer. I had Dupré carry Artemis's body, and we ventured further north, deeper into the outpost. In order to get the orb, we had to find a blacksmith or someone who was carrying rope, which is needed to travel down a well at the beginning of the dungeon. The Avatar fought through skeletons, suits of armor, disabled a sleeping trap which led to the third orb. Quest complete. At least it would be if all we were here for was the orb. Finding a key near the library underneath a rock or pile of debris unlocked the doors in the library, which led to the blacksmith carrying the rope that we needed. Using the rope to travel down the well at the beginning of the outpost, the Avatar used Artemis's key in the form of a scroll to get past the magical barrier, which led deeper and deeper into the bowels of the earth. The Avatar and his companions fought through some new enemies, a pair of ice golems, went through some short passages until he came across the Belt of Strength, also known as Laurel's Gift. You can probably guess what it does, but it adds plus 10 to your strength score. With the Avatar's strength at 20, it is now 30. A very helpful item in our adventure here in Serpent Isle, once we get back to the main timeline. Hello guys, welcome back to some more Ultima VII Part 2 Serpent Isle, Silver Seed, which is where we're at now, and SI fixes. I forgot to do something on my own time. I gotta put some more stuff away. Mainly the items we got, like the books and stuff, or scrolls rather. Like the map from the outpost, we'll put that away. The trap book from the Fiend's Lair, and the scroll from the dead guy beyond the secret wall back at the outpost. And I think that's it. I'm not even gonna bother to check, I'm just gonna move on. So for this part, we got one more area to tackle. Aram Dol's Lair, also known as the Liche. There's also a dragon nearby that we were told by someone that I forgot. So we're ready to go, we're all healed up, we got some magical arrows for Shamino, for YOLO. I think we'll be alright. Aram Dol is no pushover, and you'll see once we get there. It's also going to be really, really dark, so I will cast the Great Light spell. And I think I like the way the screen lights up versus the helmet light, which just makes it look like daytime. I just think that kills the atmosphere a fair bit. So the next area is north. This add-on's not lasting too long, which is fine. Alright guys, you ready? Yes, Avatar, I'm ready to go. I got my crossbow, Shamino's got his bow and arrow. I'm sure we'll be fine. Considering that this guy's a Lich, he's dead, he's undead. There's probably gonna be a lot of undead creatures we have to face off against. Uh-oh. Oh, it's one of these ladies again. Is this someone new at least? Hail lady. Me a lady. Yep, that's someone new. Look at that earring, big skull, blue eyes. She looks not very good aligned. Well, hello, handsome. I'm glad I did not give up on thee. Thou art worth the wait, assuredly. Give up on me? Well, I would not have done that, really. After all, it's not often a girl gets the chance to play a part in prophecy. If I had given up, how would I have been able to help thee? I'll choose that, in a minute. How long were you waiting for? It has been quite a while, but it does not matter. Now that thou art here, handsome. Perhaps after thou hast completed thy task, I could think of a way for thee to make it up to me. Think of a way? What way you're thinking? Let us just say that thou dost inspire me. I can promise you that I shall be creative. That's very flattering, but I hardly know you. I mean, you just popped in out of nowhere, and your last friend, who I'm assuming you're aligned with, gave me wrong advice on those buttons. So you have to pardon me if I'm very, very suspicious of you, regardless of your forwardness. Make it up to thee. Oh, do not tempt me, handsome. She sure likes saying that a lot, doesn't she? We have duties yet to fulfill, thou and I. Perhaps we can find time later in a more romantic spot, shall we say. I can't think of one spot in this entire area that would be considered that, though. Considering the way she's dressed, she probably has different ideas of what's considered romantic, right? Prophecy. Thy coming was foretold long ago, handsome. It's getting... If any word, is just constantly repeated like that, it just doesn't flow too well, doesn't it? Feels very repetitive right now, already. Though thou wert expected much earlier, I fear that the task before thee shall be much more difficult now. What do you know of my task? The task of the Pawn of Prophecy, or as the Ophidians call thee, the Champion of Balance, is to restore balance to the world. I fear that the tide of battle may have turned so far that even thou canst not pull it back. If order destroys chaos, there will be nothing to bring balance to, handsome. Destroys chaos. The Ophidians who follow order believe that those who follow chaos are responsible for the murder of one of their holy men, Sithnos. They have sworn to rid the world of chaos. And now that they have created the automatons, they may succeed. We met those. Though these ones here are gold. Thou canst not miss seeing them anywhere near the keep, handsome. They are the men of metal that does swell the ranks of... swell the ranks of order. With the added strength of the automatons, order shall swiftly overcome chaos. Thy time to complete thy task grows short, handsome. Foretold. I suppose the Ophidians learned of it through their hierophants. We were told by our guide. I was told to wait thee here, and so I have waited. Thou hast been quite tardy, thou knowest, handsome. What is this guide you're talking about in the last two ladies? The guide is who I follow, handsome. You can stop calling me handsome now, mostly because pretty much it's starting to become really repetitive, especially on my end. I would love to stand and tell thee all about it, but thou shouldst really be on thy way. Thou art quite late, thou knowest. How late am I? The Ophidians' war has gone on for many years now, handsome. I don't think that chaos will be able to hold off order much longer. If thou art going to restore balance, thou will have to act quickly. Of course, Ophidians. Thou dost not know who the Ophidians are. How strange. They are the people that hold the keep. Quite warlike, really. I don't have much to do with them. Hierophants. At least, I think that is what they are called. The Hierophants are the holy men and women of the Ophidians. I understand they are also the political leaders. Personally, I think that anyone possessing that much power is a bad idea. Okay, what can you do to help me? And don't be offended if I don't take your advice, considering what happened to me last time. I have been charged with the task of aiding thee, handsome. Beyond this gate lies a threat to thee. It is I who must give thee the key to escaping its snare. And what is this key? Give it to me. Not a physical key, handsome, but a hint, if thou wilt. Oh, wonderful. Thou shalt come to a room in which thy passage is blocked. To win thy freedom, thou shalt have to know which of the many levers must be moved. Pull every other lever down to break free of the trap. That's it? Okay, bye. Farewell, take care, she says. Now, these are not obviously followers of order, those three ladies. But they don't sound like chaos agents. Because chaos don't follow what's called a guide, unless they call the chaos god they follow the chaos serpent a guide, but I doubt it. The guide sounds something different. What is it? We'll find out probably in this part. Oh. I just wandered in here without even looking around and stuff like that, but there were two sets of stairs we can go to on the path to the right of the entrance and right here. But we're gonna go over here first. And this area is all stairs. There's no enemies up here, but once we go down, there probably will be. Alright guys, steel yourselves. I don't have no idea what to expect in here. And in true Ultima fashion, I can never remember these labyrinthine pathways before I come here, even on replays. I play this game, I think maybe 6 times total throughout the years. I don't even know. Oh, there's a dead body here. Probably more than that, but I can never recall the layout to these dungeons. Oh, it's a dragon. And it's not attacking us. Is it friendly? I will save, and I will talk to it. It speaks, just like Jackson Newsom back in Forge of Virtue. A human. How interesting. What dost thou want? Who art thou? My, what an impudent hatchling. Thou hast the gall to march into my home, walk up to my presence on thy tiny, ridiculous legs, and dare to ask my name. Yes, that's what I did. I'm not afraid of you. We're facing an interdimensional god right now. Guardian. Well, kind of. We did the last part. Last game. I think that I shall be the one to ask the questions. We shall begin by asking thee what thou art called, and why thou hast come to my domain. I'll just say my name. I'm Reuben. I see. Thou dost not look like those humans who call themselves Ophidians, but I can't smell their spore upon thee, really. I've only talked to them for like an hour. Art thou an official envoy from Serpent's Fang? No. I thought as much. Thou dost not have that irrational look in thy eyes as do those ill-mannered Ophidians. Now then, why hast thou come to my domain? I'm lost. I like how that's an option, because it's easy to get lost in these dungeons that you could totally choose this and you'd be correct. But I know where to come to. He's always in the third set of stairs there, past the two pathways. I'm looking for something, which is also true. Yes, well, are not we all? I suppose that I should not bore thee with my sophomoric philosophy. Well, I won't ask thee what it is that thou art searching for, or thou art searching for. However, if thou art willing to stay a while, I might be inclined to help thee find whatever it is thou dost seek. Now that I know something about thee, it is only fair that I tell thee that my name is Draxenar. My friends, however, call me Stumpy. If thou dost desire to stay for a while, I shall not prevent thee. Indeed, thy company will be most welcome. And perhaps if thou art willing, I shall puzzle thee with my riddles. Now then, how may I help thee? Riddles. Did you say your friends call you Stumpy? 'Tis my nickname. Perhaps when I know thee better, I shall tell thee the reason I was given this nickname. I mean, I can probably do without the information, but I'm also not sure if he reveals it to you, company. It hath been years since I last talked with anyone. Thou wouldst not believe how lonely the life of a dragon, can be. How lonely is it? Everyone fears us. Dragons, that is. In the process of defending myself from countless attacks, I have killed many men. Those who have come before thee let their weapons do the talking. Which is fair enough. And I'm just now being reminded of all those dragons in Testard. Back when we tried to find the Fellowship chest, I like how the smoke is exhaling from his nostrils there. I just now noticed his eyes are purple. Very sharp teeth. Can you help me? Indeed, I know that I do not look it, but I am several centuries old. Although I have lived in this area a mere dozen decades, I have managed to learn quite a few things. Alright, how about some information? And what dost thou wish to know? People? People, huh. Thou dost realize, I hope, that not every sentient creature likes to be characterized in human terminology. But you know what, I was hoping to come in here, start slaying some creatures and find Aram Dol. There's actually a lot more talking than I remembered, with a lady, which is rather short, and this dragon dude. To answer that question, however, I know or have heard of many people. Who in particular wert thou interested in? Well, can you tell me about Aram Dol nearby? A more evil or cunning creature thou wilt not find. Fortunately, the Liche rarely ventures from its lair. If thou art fond of thy life, I would advise against venturing into Aram Dol's domain. But the Avatar has fought the undead before and triumphed. Aram Dol is not easily reached. The Liche hath surrounded his lair with many creatures. If I were thee, I would avoid his domain. Although I have heard that the Liche possesses two fabulous treasures. Ooh. What sort of treasures are those? One of these treasures I have heard tell is a weapon, an axe, I believe, of unimaginable power. The other treasure is a pair of gauntlets that purportedly once belonged to some thief known as Karis the Quick. I have not heard what power the gauntlets possess. And what sort of creatures does he have surrounded himself with? The Lich uses dead humans that he has reanimated as guardians. To reach Aram Dol, one must traverse a veritable gauntlet of undead creatures. There are also the abominations called the Arachnians. What are those? In years past, Aram Dol took many humans as prisoners. By means of the blackest sorcery, Aram Dol fused the torsos of men with the bulbous bodies of giant spiders. These creatures are fearsome fighters. They are cunning and evil. Pray to whatever gods thou doth worship, if thou art caught by the Arachnians. They eat their prey alive. By the virtues, such foul creatures should be exterminated. Just to hammer in home on how evil Aram Dol is, there you go. Longtooth. Longtooth is my aunt's son. A sorrier dragon thou shalt never find. Of course, what happened to him was not his fault. What happened? Longtooth was once smart, handsome, and very fierce. Many hatchlings looked up to Longtooth, and many females wanted to mate with him. Then one day, some iron-plated human warrior came along and tried to kill him. Longtooth thought the idea of a human challenging him, a prime example of dragonkind, was funny. So Longtooth obliged the human, and the fight began. What my cousin was not aware of was that the human had friends who were hiding. When Longtooth had the warrior pinned, the jackal struck from ambush. Longtooth managed to escape, but he's never been the same since. Why, he can't even outriddle a goblin. We already killed the fiend, but what do you know of him, or knew of him rather? I've heard a tale about a mad human who is known as the Fiend. Apparently he is very dangerous. Doesn't it strike thee as odd that the most evil creatures in these caverns are humans? I suppose there has never been a dragon that was evil, eh? And that left the dragon speechless. He had no rebuttal. Ophidians. Yes, I heard of these people, and I don't particularly care for them. Why not? The Ophidians are the ill-mannered humans who built a large keep, not far from this cavern. Only a few of them are left in that keep, however. What do you mean ill-mannered? We know what you mean, but let's hear it from you. It's a little weird for me to read this out, by the way, because on my end, it's completely quiet. Before the Ophidians came to these caverns, there existed a natural balance amongst the creatures that lived here. There was conflict, to be sure, but there existed a rhythm to life. There was space and food enough for everyone. The Ophidians' arrival disrupted the balance. They forced many creatures from their homes, and now they wage a war amongst themselves. Truly, I think I shall never understand humans. Civil war? Aye, these snake lovers took up arms against one another. They have taken to slaughtering one another as easily as a hatchling takes to breathing fire. They have been fighting for at least a year, I think. Snake lovers. As I have said, I know little of your human rituals, but I do know that these Ophidians worship snakes. Now that I think about it, I remember hearing that they worship the forces of order and chaos, albeit in the forms of snakes. Order and chaos. 'Tis a silly philosophy, if thou dost ask me. The Ophidians, however, believe in their doctrine so well that they have taken up arms against one another. Why? I cannot say why you humans do the things you do. You are peculiar creatures, with odd customs and strange rituals. All I know is that these Ophidians starting slaughtering each other about 1 year ago. All I know is that these Ophidians starting slaughtering each other about 1 year ago. I had to do that like 3 times just to be sure that was not flowing correctly. Writing error. Keep. We came from there. The Ophidians call their keep Serpent's Fang. I don't really know much about the place except that the commander of the few humans that are left is not human. Frankly, I do not care to know much about that place. As long as those humans stay out of my domain, I shall reciprocate by not trespassing upon theirs. They may come here eventually, once the war is over. Not human, we met him. Aye, this new commander is some sort of magical construct. I believe the Ophidians call these creatures automatons. I dare say that it is probably an improvement. Now see here, there is no cause to be insulting. Automatons. I have heard that these constructs are absolutely obedient to their Ophidian masters, that they never tire, and that they do not need food. Alright, I'm not going to ask about riddles yet. Let's ask about things. My goodness, thou art a curious one. I suppose that I should inform thee of the numerous hazards that are found within our subterranean realm. My goodness, excuse me. You know, sometimes I cut out my speech errors, but sometimes I leave it in because I'm lazy. Hazards. Truly thou art not from these parts that thou art not aware of the civil war the Ophidians wage against each other, or the perils of Aram Dol's domain. We already asked about Aram Dol. I think he's just going to repeat himself, right? Yep. And now I got more dialogue options. Shoot. Let's ask about places. What place art thou interested in? Can you tell me about your home? I'm quite familiar with my own cave, although I doubt that thou wouldst find it charming, quite as charming as I do. Art thou really interested in learning about my humble domicile? Actually, yeah, I am. Thou art a most unusual human. I moved to this cave 112 years ago. It was not easy finding the perfect cave. I had my standards, after all. And thou wouldst not believe how difficult it is to find a good cave. This dragon's reminding me of Smith, the horse. Except not nearly as annoying. Anyway, I had spent weeks searching and was about to give up the search when, quite by accident, I wandered into this cavern. Tell me about it. These caverns are fairly large, a fact that suited me because I myself am fairly large. This cave was perfect for me. I could come and go as I pleased, at least until Aram Dol started expanding his territory. Many years ago, Aram Dol created the Arachnian creatures. The Liche released these creatures into these caverns. The foul beasts killed everything within their path. The vile creatures even managed to attack me en masse. I was very nearly slain. Fortunately for me, the Arachnians have a weakness. Tell me. I'm very interested to know about that. You see how it pays off to ask him about his home? Aye, the bugs have a weakness. They are especially vulnerable to fire. I fried dozens of the monsters before they broke ranks and ran. After that battle, I caved in some of the passageways near my cave and moved large boulders to block other entrances to my cave, into my cave. The tactic seems to have worked because I have had little trouble from the creatures since I erected the barriers. We already know about the Arachnians. Same thing there. We came from the maze. That was the first thing we did. The Ophidians built other structures within these caverns besides that keep of theirs. One of these structures is a maze. Although I have not been there, I have heard that it is extremely difficult. I don't mean any offense to thee, but I think that any maze devised by the mind of a man could easily be solved by any sensible dragon. Well, you say that, but you know nothing about order, you know nothing about chaos, you know nothing about balance, nor the Ophidians or their war. Did you just stay in this entire cave just by yourself staring at the wall? I noticed that you're completely silent. Anyways, let's ask about... We already asked about that. Yep, we did. Okay. Well, let's ask about riddles then. That's what we got left. I don't like to boast, but I dare say there is no better riddle master than myself. Art thou sure thou doth want to play? Why not? Avatar, we're supposed to find Aram Dol in the orb. We got time to do that. Even though on my end it's been like 21 minutes, 22. Excellent. We shall start with a simple riddle. If thou hast answered it correctly, I shall give thee a more difficult riddle. Reese Fletcher, a master bowman on an urgent mission for his king, desperately needed to find a hidden mountain pass. While searching for the pass, he came upon 3 mystics who were standing alongside the trail. One mystic wore a black sash, while the other 2 had brown sashes. Reese knew that some mystics were truth-tellers and some were not. Reese thought that if he could figure out if one of the mystics was a truth-teller, he could learn the whereabouts of the hidden pass. So he rode up to the mystics and asked, "Art thou truth-tellers?" The mystic wearing the black sash answered the bower by nodding his head up and down. The second mystic, who had only one arm, told Reese that the mystic with the black sash indicated that he was a truth-teller. However, the other mystic, who was fat, said that the mystic with the black sash was lying. How many of these mystics were liars? Alright, so my guess was 2, but the answer is actually 1. One of the mystics is a liar. That is correct. I just solve my first riddle. Shall I tell the slightly more difficult riddle? Sure. A young noble woman is getting ready for the royal ball. She has several types of earrings in her jewelry box, with 2 made of gold, 3 of silver, and 4 made of copper. Wait, hold on, let me write that down. 2 gold, right? And you said 3 silver, and 4 copper. She's getting ready for the ball. The earrings, however, are all scattered about in the jewelry box. Without looking into the jewelry box, how many earrings will the noble woman have to take out of the jewelry box to ensure a matched pair? That's 4. Thou art correct. Thou dost solve my first 2 riddles. Dost thou want to hear another riddle? And in true old computer game fashion, you can't ask him to repeat the riddle. So if you forget details, you're kind of screwed. My cousin Longtooth has claimed to have stumped over 400 creatures with his riddles. Melon says that he's blowing smoke, that the number is probably less than 100. I said that he has probably stumped at least 1 creature with his riddles. If only one of us is correct, how many creatures has Longtooth stumped with his riddles? The answer to this one is funny. He stumped no one. They are correct. Longtooth is a great dragon, but he's lousy at riddling. Thou hast solved my first 3 riddles. Doth thou wish to try a more difficult one? If you've never played this before, were you really expecting a dragon to tell you riddles instead of fighting undead and finding Aram Dol? This game's filled with surprises back in the day. Yes, please. Very well. See if thou canst solve my last riddle. A clothier named Cedric has received an order to make 5 dresses, all with the same pattern. All with the same pattern. Cedric has 3 designs of embroidered cloth laying on a table in his workroom. Cedric tells his apprentice to fetch 5 pieces of cloth with the same embroidered pattern. The lazy apprentice doesn't bother looking through the piles of cloth, he just takes an armful. Discounting pure luck, how many pieces of cloth would the apprentice have to grab to ensure that Cedric can make 5 dresses with the same embroidery pattern? I'm not going to bother to figure this out, the answer is 14. Well, it's a little confusing. It says 13 or 14, but I think you're supposed to choose 14. 'Tis not it, though I thought it was for 2 decades. He says, let's do that again. So if you choose 13, verily thou hast a good head upon thy shoulders. Thou hast solved all of mine riddles. Doth thou wish to hear them again? No, thank you. I understand perfectly. Why wouldst thou, who hast already solved my riddles, want to hear them again? And that's it. That is Draxonar. Fare thee well. Very friendly dragon. Unlike the ones back in Distard. It was Distard, right? The one with the fellowship chest we had to find. Let's take a look around his cave. It's been like 29 minutes on my end. We haven't done any exploring towards Aram Dol's lair. That's a big bet he has. Makes sense. No treasure, though. Where's his treasure hoard? Probably no time to accumulate because of the undead nearby. There's a war going on. Let's just leave him be. We can't really move past that little lair. But I wanted to visit him before we move on further into this dank, dark cavern. And still on my end, it's very, very quiet. What's up here? I don't think that's a dead end. Well, let's go back up the stairs, which I think is right here, right? Yes, it is. And you want to go wherever, really. This is the most labyrinthine area in Silverseed. It's very challenging. I think I'll take this set of stairs. I think there's another one over here. No, that just circles around. I think 4 sets of stairs. Oh, we're slowing down. Who's nearby? I saw movement off to the left. Ah, that's a... It's off screen now. It was. Manspire, that's the Arachnian. Now I wish you would only slow down if enemies see you. But no, it's when they're on screen. So it's not coded that way. Let's pick up the pace a little bit, guys. Maybe they heard enemy footsteps nearby and slowed to a crawl. A table. Oh, our first enemy. How about you? Finally, some music on my end. Combat music. Dupre, YOLO, why are you just standing like statues? Well, thanks for your help, guys. I didn't need your help at all. But if you loot them, they got some arrows, which I'll give to, Shamino. That's... Dupre, don't dawdle. Why are they... They're not really getting into formation, so I think I have to reload. So let's do that real quick. See if that fixes things. It did. Reloading fixes everything, mostly. When I say mostly, mostly in every game. Big cavern here. I think Draxnar will be pleased once we slay Aram Dol, who again is no pushover. Because he'll have this entire cave system all to himself, provided the Order soldiers don't kill him. Big area here, my goodness. Take out that man spider, guys. There we go. It doesn't look like it's dead though, doesn't it? Like they didn't model the model with blood on its corpse. There's a dead body here though, with nothing on it. Another man-spider, an Arachnian. Like Draxnar said, they eat you alive. That sounds terrible. There we go. I'm taking all the arrows. Even though we can create our own arrows, we'll save mana that way. Left, right, up, this way. This is dead end. Wonderful. I choose this way, guys. Ah, teleporters. Interesting. And a locked door. We don't have the key. Nor can we pick it, I don't think. Nope. Got no key for this. And no picky for that. So let's go this way. That's circling around. It just circles around, guys. You saw that. Let's take the teleporter, though. And now we're somewhere else. Ah, bandage. YOLO. Carry that. I got 3 bandages. Even though I can basically heal infinitely. Nearly infinitely. This is a Protect All scroll. I'll go ahead and transcribe that later. I was considering doing it now, but I think I want to save mana. Not that bag. Let's do this bag. Which is the same bag, never mind. I got both bags messed up. So I thought the relics we got from the towns, the 2 towns, was in the bag where I was keeping the plot, the items we lost in the storm. But look, zombies. At least I think so. Undead. It just says undead. Well, they're zombies. How about you? They are not too bad. But do you see anything? Behind the pedestal, there is a key. Nothing underneath the cup, the skull cup, though. Which looks pretty cool. Wish I had one of those. Add that to the key ring. Torches if you need them. I think I'll go this way. Ah. Does that key unlock this door? Yes, it does. Down we go. A lever. Which I'm assuming we have to flick, so I'll do that. And the zombos are back. How about you? 2 of them at least. Only one way to go. Up here. Oh, jeez. Fire. Wonderful. 1 weakness. Boydon's 1 weakness. I took a lot of damage. No. Fire bad. Well, let's, heal someone. Dupre can do it. The prey can get healed, and I'll leave everyone be for now. Alright, so I know where to go around here. These don't have anything, these bodies. What you want to do, and it took me a while to figure out. Because it seems like it's a dead end, right? Like, you can't go in there. That's just going back to where we came from, where we can't go back to where those teleporters were. But there's something here, behind this big boulder. Secret path. The key right here. Which is good to look up, because I'm not going back in that hallway, because that fire will come back, and it'll probably kill you. Thy blood will soil the land. Damn thee. Alright, I got the key. It's the worst area, one of the worst areas in this, this dungeon. Oh. This is not fitting music. When you hear music like this in a dangerous dungeon ran by a lich, you know there's going to be problems. Know, adventurer, that to proceed onward thou must pass 3 puzzles. At the first test, throw 2 down. At the second test, throw 3 down to get 8. At the third test, throw 4 down to get 12. If the levers are not in the correct position, when the button is depressed, thou wilt surely be destroyed. Aram Dol. Not going to pick up that scroll. I will save though. Now I'll probably save in another slot. Just in case that's, you know, save gets messed up. Ooh. Oh, I'll take that. I'll also take these lockpicks. I think already gets stacked on that existing set. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. 1, 2, and 3. All right. So this one, you want to flick this one right here. That opens that. She said every other lever, but it's like, I think she's wrong. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So for this one, 5, 2, 1. Press the button. That worked. Nice. And this one, so basically you want to press 6, 3, 2, I'm checking these just in case, and then 1. And if you fail these, you instantly die. Quote unquote. You know what happens when you die in this game, you get resurrected somewhere. And that lever opened that, I'm assuming. The lever down those steps near the zombies. Oh. Yeah, it looks like there's a little magical trap here. Because that just endlessly loops. Let's go this way. What are those? Those are mummies. Well, how about you, mummies? Damn thee! Victory! Do they carry anything? Any loot? Answer is no. Big fat no. There's gold here. Some beds here if you're brave to sleep here. And did you spot it before I did? Because I just noticed there's a key right there. I'll take this key. Why wouldn't you in a dungeon, right? Down here. Hey, don't sleep down here. If you sleep down here, you're suicidal. Where did this mummy come from? Just popped out of nowhere. It wasn't there before, right? That is a gemstone. Voidon can wear that, carry that rather. And to close the backpack, excuse me. Up here. Corpse. Another mummy. Almost said zombie. How about you? No combat music for some reason, but that's fine with me. That's one less music track to lower the volume on. Open that. I'll go in there in just a few minutes down here. Nothing here. I think it's a good time to do some healing because we got full mana. I think I will heal Boydon. So if he dies, he's dead for good. Oh, another locked door. I don't have the key. Uh-oh. Up, roadblock. I was hoping things would be smooth, but... Or maybe there's a hidden wall back where we came from, in that mummy-infested area. Speaking of which, speak of the devil. How about you? Die full. They're already dead, guys. They're already dead. Maybe there's a secret wall nearby that we can take. Not here, probably. Here? Ah. Oh, there's more mummies, though. Well, it's fighting, I guess. At you. That it? They're dead? Quote unquote. 3 skull heads there. A bag. Can we carry another bag on anyone? Looks like we can. Yellow can. That's got gold. I don't need the gold. I'm just gonna put that there. You can wear that, Yellow. Why aren't you putting that on your thingy? Wasn't automatic. I saw that mummy there. I'm trying to see if I can go over here, though. Oh, there's 2 of them. Fighting. Shamino. Fire your arrow. There we go. Don't know how much experience they give. I see those steps there. I'll go down there in a few minutes. Because we neglected to go over here. Which might have something. More mummies. Alright. Ah, bag. Voidon, don't block the bag. Come on, man. You're too big. Ooh. Great heal. We already have that, but... It's good to have a scroll. I'll put it right here. I might have to cast it. Got some potions, healing. That I'll probably just go ahead and use. I'll use that on Shamino and Yellow. Go. And can anyone else wear the bag on their belts, in their backpack? Ah. Can never have too many bags. Bags are nice. This area is done. Let's go down these steps after fighting these 2 mummies, darn it. I was not expecting a bunch of conversation in the beginning of this part. A little bit with the lady, the flirty lady, and the dragon dude. Oh, fire. I actually remember this area. This fire is actually not dangerous. You want to know why? There's no secret paths or anything. You might get stuck if you played this back in the day with no guide. You basically just gotta walk through it. Because it's an illusion. The fire won't hurt you. Unlike that hallway we were in. I will take this key. So that's what we need. We gotta go back to that, that door that I probably won't skip to. Because on my end, it's like 46 minutes. I think we actually might be done with Silver Seed in this part. Which will be nice. It's a really good expansion. Really, really good. I kind of hate using the word content, but content, for lack of a better word at the moment. When you break games down to that term, I feel like it takes away from things. I don't know how to eloquently describe it. Let's go back, though. No mummies here, right? Up. Spoke too soon. They always put enemies near where you have to go. Thy blood will soil the land. No, they won't, because those are mummies. Their blood is gone. There we go. Shaman, you gotta stop missing. And here we are, the door, guys. Now, if that key didn't work, I'd be completely lost. Let's save. Oh. Yeah, I'll take that, why not? Small things I'll take. That'll save me using the false coin spell. Oh, it's a Draco Lich. How about you? Whoa. Did a lot of damage. I should probably heal up to be safe. I know I got the scroll, but I'm gonna use the spell. Another Draco Lich, wonderful. Or just a Skeletal Lich, which is... same term, right? The first kind of skeleton dragon we encountered in the Ultima games. Yeah, I'll take those lockpicks, why not? Ooh! Yeah, I'll use that. It heals a varying amount, though. Now, they don't carry anything, unfortunately. There's probably a secret wall right up there is. Oh, let me save before going down there. Suits of armor. This is probably not good. I believe they're all going to open the further we get along into this area. Two-handed sword if you need it. I already got one, though. There's a... blood? Purple blood? Who draws purple blood? We don't have the key for that, obviously. Alright, we're going to have to flick the switch. Which didn't do anything. You gotta walk next to it, I guess. Yeah, or it just takes a while to open. Well, at you. These things have a lot of health and are very durable. Or just durable. It's gonna be a long fight. They don't seem to do much damage, though, these things. That it? Hopefully they don't spawn back in. You guys missed one. There we go. It was hiding. Who does he think he is? Solid Snake? Sam Fisher? We're still walking very slowly. I think there's something here, though. Or is it that one? Is this one dead? I don't know if you see that behind the wall. Yeah, that one wasn't dead. Alright. What do we do? Down all the way here. Gotta do something with these switches, I guess. Let's do this one. Click everyone. Puzzles is not my forte, by the way. I don't like puzzles. I played Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow a few weeks ago. After playing Aria of Sorrow. Both good games. But Dawn of Sorrow has some weird stuff in it, because that was a handheld game where you can interact with a screen. And developers really like to put this sliding block puzzle when you're exploring the demon guest house. I was having fun fighting enemies, finding items, finding secrets beyond walls and stuff, and bam, you're hit with a sliding numbered block puzzle to solve to open certain rooms in the next area. That's not fun when the fun is, like, stopped by a puzzle that frustrates you. I basically just looked up a guide just to get back to the good stuff. It's like developers, I guess Nintendo as well, I'm not a big Nintendo guy, are really proud of their gimmicks, that they put it in the game and it just frustrates players, but it excites the creator but they don't realize that players don't really like it that much. At least I didn't. That's a common sentiment with that game, which is still a good game. This isn't Castlevania, this is Ultima VII. I think you gotta flick all these, I don't even know. Hopefully this will work. If not, I am kind of out of options. Yeah, that didn't do anything. Wonderful. Last thing we have to do is flip this again. That opens that. And I think down here is Aram Dol. So I'll make another save. Like I said, he is not a pushover. He is very... Yep, this is the area. Let me check my spells real quick. I need to prepare for this. He can be really annoying if you're not prepared. I did manage to kill him, even though he's already dead, when I came here really early without training several years ago. But basically, we have a reveal. We have vibrate. We don't have vibrate. Okay, I thought I had vibrate. Alright, I think we're ready anyways. Let me just go through all this real quick. If you think about using a sleep potion on him, forget it. Like we did with the Fiend. That's not going to work. We got reveal right here. I don't think we need it for... I remember reading about how it might be helpful for him. Fighting him, but I don't see how that's the case. Alright, let's just use that, I guess, because what happens is, if you walk forward really slowly, that happens. See that? He's got a fire trap in that, that area. And it's a doozy. Surprisingly, Boydon survived, though. My goodness. Let's go back and try that again. Oh my goodness. Ah! No, Boydon, and everyone else. You're all dead. Let's load that again. Alright. Reveal traps. Nope. Oh, yep, get out of there. Get out of there. Okay, good. Good. Let's heal up hardcore. My goodness, Boydon first. Shamino. I am almost out of spells. Alright. There he is. That is, Aram Dol. Do I have any... Oh, you know what? Yes, I have it. I thought I put it away. Aram Dol... It's better to have a bow and arrow for him. Let's see if I can share. I'll take 20 away from you, Shamino. Now, I can't really aim worth a damn, but Aram Dol moves all around the place that you'll see in just a few minutes. See that? He teleported away. Okay, he's invisible. And I am out of magical spells. Wonderful. Let's be safe. Use this there. Aram Dol, show yourself. There he is. That's you. Got him. Yep, that's Aram Dol. Good old Aram Dol. There's some strategies for him. One of which is to grab all those powder kegs from Monitor in that cave. And when you see him, just open your inventory and just place all the powder kegs around him and set it off. Or use ranged weapons. Now, I was looking for a spell called Vibrate. I thought I had it, but I don't. Vibrate will drop all his magic, making him useless. And then you just basically, that's good game for him. But yeah. But ranged weapons is very good on him, because he teleports around and stuff. You see what I mean about him not being a pushover? My goodness. Well, that took no time at all. He's the biggest roadblock to the orb. I'm just going to give the arrows back to Shamino. I'm also getting a little tired on my end, so excuse me. When it's really quiet, like it's quiet on my end, there's no music playing. Makes it awkward to talk. Because this game can get really quiet sometimes. Serpentile, I mean. Alright, he's got keys. I'll take the keys, because they are very important, I'm sure. Aram Dol? More like Aram Dead, right? Ha 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 ha. Avatar, he's already dead, he's undead. Alright, well. Hopefully he won't come back to unlife, because I don't think these liches in Ultima series work like Dungeons and Dragons liches. You know how liches work probably, but it's just in case. But liches require phylactery to house their soul before transforming to a lich. And basically, if you slay a lich in Dungeons and Dragons, any D&D game like Baldur's Gate, you have to destroy the phylactery. That was a thing in Icewind Dale, actually. If you don't destroy the phylactery, the lich will just come back. And story-wise, if a lich gets slain by an adventurer and he reforms through the phylactery, from near his phylactery, he gets really pissed off at the person who slew him. But look at all this stuff here. So let's hold that thought. There's a lot of treasure here. Oh my god, there's reagents here, even though I don't need those. Gemstones that I'll gladly take. Take all the gemstones. This will be funds for... Don't grab the table. Funds for spells. There's the orb. Let me check my experience, though. I'm like 1 away from level 8, I think. I think 6400 is level 8. Voidon's level 6 now. 7 for Dupre. Chaminade and YOLO is also 7. Okay, 63.99. So I think if you grab the orb, that gives you experience. No, it doesn't. This scroll is a sword strike scroll that I'll gladly take. Transcribe that later. And that's not a magical axe. That is Aranon's axe. And this right here are gauntlets of quickness. Karis's gloves. These are the last set of artifacts that we can wear on the Avatar or anyone else, by the way. You don't have to give the belt of strength, the gauntlets, or the axe to the Avatar if you don't want to. It might be a good candidate for someone else later on or something like that. But I want to equip this. And these gloves, I take these off first, give you 30 dexterity. We also got some experience just by wearing that. That's funny. Anyone else did? Or just the Avatar? Looks like just the Avatar. Plus 10 to dexterity. And this axe gives you plus 10 to combat. And more experience as well. Looks like Voidon got some experience as well. Dupre, Chaminade, and YOLO. They are all almost level 8. Pretty cool. Now, Aranon's axe is pretty awesome. Well, it's because now the Avatar is almost as strong as he was in the Black Gate, but thanks to artifacts, not innately. Like magical blessings. Alright. Now, who do I give the gloves to? I need a shield, though. I'll take yours, YOLO. You don't need that anymore, right? There we go. It's looking pretty good with that chain coif. We're not done, though. We got 3 chests there. I don't know if I need that two-handed sword, but I'll have Dupre carry that if he can wear it in his backpack. I think I'm going to give these gloves to Chaminade, YOLO. And no one else can wear chain gauntlets. So we'll just leave that there, I guess. I'll save. Unlock these chests here that are already open. They're locked. Thanks to 30 dex, we can unlock chests easily, though this one broke for some reason. That sucks. Got some gold. Don't need that. Ooh, magical armor. So, who would benefit from this? You could give this to Voidon, increase his defense a little bit more. However, plate gives you plus 4. Except the boots, I think. So I think I'm going to have him wear the plate armor for now. I actually want to give this to YOLO because he has no strength at all. So I think I will do that. There. No boots though, that's okay. And the helmet I can give to... I guess I'll give this to Voidon. Save a little bit of stone capacity, you know. The helmet I can give to Duper. And there we go. Actually, I'm thinking about having Dupre wear it because Boydon has max strength, so he can handle plate armor. So I changed my mind, take these off. Sorry, Boydon. Wear that again. I'll give this to Dupre. There we go. Alright, there we go. Let's double check all our stuff. Yep, that's it. We don't need any of those, I don't believe. That in there. Yep, we are good. We are getting there. Anything in here? We don't need burst arrows. Those will explode on contact. That's bad. There we go. Now, yellow has some extra storage capacity, which is good. Which is always good. All right. Not going to grab the wand, not going to grab the reagents. All in all, that wasn't too bad. But you can see how Aram Dol could be very, very tough if you come here really, really early. Also like his little throne here. He's got the Ankh there. That's funny. Step over his dead body, and we're back here. We're back here. Or, hold on a second. Where does this teleporter take you to? Ah, okay. Gotcha. You just take that and you don't have to walk back out in the front like that. Oh, the 4 areas had been braved, and we're back. But first things first, I have to heal up with Surok. Because we took a lot of damage back there. But yeah, Aram Dol is the toughest one. He actually killed us a couple times. One time. That first time was a doozy. Surok. I wish to speak with thee. I wish to heal. Just go in order. It's satisfying when that happens. When you heal your guys. Let's ask about strange items. We got these gauntlets. These are obviously enchanted to aid thee in the speedy deliverance of thy blows, yet I have never seen their like. They do have the look of an order armorer, 'tis true, yet the stench of evil doth linger upon them. Thou wouldst be wise not to trust in these gloves, my lord. Too late, I'm gonna wear them for the rest of the game. I got the axe. 'Tis truly a wonderful weapon, my lord. Where didst thou come by such? I do not know exactly what it does, but I am sure that thou dost use it well. That's it. We'll say bye-bye. And we're actually going to finish Silver Sea today, in this part. So I still got... Well, this might be a little bit longer than usual, which is fine. Last 2 parts were like, what, 30 to 40 minutes? 30 to 50? Does Istanar have anything to say? Where is he? There he is. Standing by the wall, staring at the wall like a, like an automaton. He has nothing to say here at all. Let's just say bye. Does Alyssa say anything new? Nope, she's just got service to offer. But basically, what we have to do is something. And I barely remember, so let's explore the keep a little bit. I vaguely remember Alyssa or someone saying there's a hidden path here in the keep to where we gotta use the orbs. There's also a room here with books we can't read. as well as scrolls. Well, thankfully we have the translate spell, so I'll use that. Now I can read. Our blessed Serpent Isle. I might read this, I might not. If I don't, I suppose you can just pause it and read it yourself. Ethicality. I don't think I feel like reading these. I'm really lazy right now. You'll excuse me because it's getting to be over an hour on my end. The Book of Discipline. Tenets of Discipline, right there. At Ease, for the Order Soldier. Denizens of the Caves. I probably should have came down here first and read these. We already know about Arachnians. A Liche. Says nothing about phylacteries, I don't think. I'm just skimming through it. Half snake, half human creature. Shazaja. Did I pronounce it? Oh, those are the wild men. That's what they're called. Interesting. That's it for that. Temples of Order. Like, some of these may be important later on. The Lost Orbs. We got all 4 of them. Just says where they are. Hope I'm not going through these too quickly for you. Lot to read in this book, my goodness. I really should have came down here and read these before we're going off. Report on the cleansing of the Fiend's domain. Sub-Commander Therisk. Therisk. Extra lore there, I guess. And that's it. I really don't feel like reading those. Let's go somewhere else right now. I think down here. Yeah, there's something here, by the way. You want to go... There's a secret wall that I remembered. Key that we can't open. We don't have a way to pick it. And where do you get the key? I have no idea. Alright, we gotta go back to where that library was. If you notice something, I don't know if you... It's actually kind of hard to notice, but if you move this, there's a button there. That's what I didn't remember. It moves that right there. And Alyssa has nothing to say about that, does she? She's just doing her alchemist duties. We gotta find the silver seed. We need the orbs to get it, though. Oops. Ooh. Creepy music. A well-lit path going through these caves. We'll save, because this looks important. Ah, there's the silver seed. We could have came here earlier. I'm just checking my level there. But, yeah. You basically need the 4 orbs, and I don't think in any particular order. Just go ahead and place it on these thingies right there. I just put these down like that and do it one at a time, rather than reopening my inventory over and over again. It is in order. It'll let you know. Aha! Got the seed right there. I'll take it. It's very important. Oh, it's the ladies. How you doing? Not so fast, dearie. And I just noticed her really grayish lock right here on her brown hair. You don't think that you can just dance out of here with that little seed so easy now, do you? Actually, yeah, I do. And who will stop me, hag? Thou? It's funny, hag. I said that recently. Hag now, is it? Well, we shall see about that, dearie. I don't know about thee, Drusilla. I think that lout would do well as a candlestick. What thinkest thou? With such a bright wit, I think it would be fitting indeed. Bright wit? I would have said half-wit, trying to keep this flawed world alive. One would think that upon a prophecy would be, I don't know, more intelligent. Oh, don't be so hard on him. It's not his fault that he doesn't have the wisdom of the Guardian to guide him. Ah, okay. Things are making a lot more sense. These ladies are following the Guardian. Well, that means I'm going to have to kill them. Besides, I think he is rather cute. Solaria, that's her name. She didn't say her name earlier. Thou shouldst not speak of the guide to the outsiders. Now thou hast sealed his fate. You mean sealed your fate, because I'm going to kill all three of you. Wilt thou never learn to think beyond thy bed? That's you. All followers of the Guardian will fall before my blade. Or rather my new axe, which is really, really handy. Blast! The amulet seems to be protecting him. This shall not be as easy as we were led to believe. Then we shall have to work to— How are they talking? You're dead. Two of you are dead. This isn't flowing too well. How are they talking while they're dead? That's not how it works. The guide shall make our aim true. The guide shall lead the way to our truly perfect world. Let us be done with this. Once this pathetic pawn is dead, we can cross into the new world and let this decaying husk die as it was meant to. Or not. Well, that's what happens to pawns of the Guardian. They get killed by me. Do you ladies have anything, though? You got keys. I will take all your keys, because it's probably important. There we go. So we don't have to finish the expansion now, we can just go back. It actually changes a line later on, from what I read, that I don't really want to test out, because I like to finish it as soon as I come here, so let's do that. And these Doros. Doros? I was thinking doggos or something. Anyways, it's 2. Oh, where are we? Anything up here? It's just one path, so let's follow it. Those ladies didn't do any damage towards us, it's funny. Avatar, who's that? Karnax? Wow. Monks are really badass, aren't they? They're able to teleport all the way to us, even back in time. This is actually a little bit of a plot hole, a little bit. All that effort to arrive here in Silverseed, this area, going back in time, that dramatic event at the Serpent Gate with our champion, Amulet of Balance, and he just teleports right in. Thou hast found the Silver Seed. Now all that remains is for thee to plant it here, in this hollow glade. Zenka's prophecies spoke of the hero restoring the Tree of Balance. But even Zenka herself could not say where the seed of such a tree could be found. When the Forest Master first entered our world, we thought that perhaps he was to be the hero from another world. But we learned that the seed he possessed had been warped by his passage through the void. It would never grow. Until Megan found the Amulet of Balance, we had not even considered the Ophidians knew anything of the Tree of Balance. Plant it here, in this dark patch of rich ground, in front of the waterfall, my son. It looks just large enough for the seed, as if it were the seed's very own cradle. The water here will nourish it well. Plant it now. And no, we're not listed anywhere even though we're outside. Got a nice little glitch. Let's look around a little bit first. To Karnax's impatientness. Anyways, the patch of glade is right here. There's nothing around here anyways. A little dirt hole there, I mean. You just put it there, like that. You gotta double click it. Look at how quickly it has grown. It looks like it has been here for decades. I am honored to have been present for such a miracle. Even I had not expected anything this momentous. With the Tree of Balance firmly rooted in this hollow glade, thy task of restoring balance to the world will be much easier, my son. Now, my son, it is time that you return to thy quest. And he teleports back to modern times, I guess. It's funny how he's able to transform himself back in time just like that. But it's why it's probably better to finish this expansion way later on, the next plot point, for story reasons. Karnak's actually, his line changes a little bit. And I don't want to spoil what he says. Hopefully I'll remember once we get to that point. But I like to finish it now. Most because if we open up our stat sheet, look how much experience we got. We got 14k. We can now cast level 9 spells. I think we only have one, right? Yeah, we got Invisible All. 14k. Only the Avatar. Gets the experience. I forgot about that. So actually it's probably better to wait. I thought all my party members get experience, but it's just the Avatar. I misremembered. I'm pleased to see thee, champion of balance. I might be of service to thee. Bye. She's got nothing new to say. There's Istanar. They're more friendly to us now. I'm pleased to see thee, Ruben. How might I aid the champion of balance in fulfilling thy duty? Apologize? Apologize for doubting thee, champion of balance. Although it is too late to stop the war, perhaps the tree of balance will speed the healing of the land's wounds after this grim business is done. Bye. I wish thee luck in thy journeys, champion of balance. I'm sure that thy road will be long. Also, let's see what Sandar has to say before we leave and end this part. It's been a bit too long for me on my end. I forget where... It's not here. For some reason he likes to hang out in the torture chamber. It's very morbid. It's down here, right? No, it isn't. This way? Yes, it's this way. Excuse me, I'm getting a little tired on my end. There we are. Honored to see thee. Congratulations. Not the tree of balance again graces our world. Perhaps we can end this war soon. Thou art truly the champion of balance. Bye-bye. So that's him. What does Surok say? He's right here. Nice. Who would have thought that lowly Surok would be speaking with a champion of balance? I am honored. How may I aid thee, Ruben? Nothing at all. Good day. And that's pretty much it for Silver Seed. And now we can go back and forth between Silver Seed and Serpent Isle without a timer. And let's do that. We gotta use the Amulet of Balance though, like that. Oh no, we're going back to Moonshade. Can I just stay here in Silver Seed? Kinda don't want to go back.